بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, we are with Macmillan Flying High 5. Macmillan Flying High 5, Unit 5. Please open your box on page 54 and 55. 54 and 55. Open your box on page 54 and 55. Ready? We are going to talk about third conditional. Grammar, third conditional. Third conditional. Third, it means that there is second and first and zero. If we say third, it means that there is second, first and zero. Let's revise the conditional. We will focus on the third, but we will revise on the all clauses, all if clauses. Okay? Zero conditional. Zero conditional or if clause 1. Zero conditional. Look at this one. Structure, usage and examples. We will focus on three things: structure, usage and examples. This is called zero conditional. It is different from one. Zero conditional, structure if plus present simple, comma, present simple. Okay? If plus present simple, comma, the result is also in the present simple. وهي if الشرطية في الوضع الطبيعي. Usage, to talk about things that are always true. Talk about things that are always true. تتكلم هذه القاعدة عن الحقائق. Like scientific facts. Scientific fact. For example, if you freeze water, it turns into ice. No need to use will. No need to use will. If you freeze water, it turns into ice. It's a fact. No new, it's a fact. هذه حقيقة. ولذلك نستخدم معها will in the future. No, it's a fact. If you freeze water, comma, don't forget comma, it turns into ice. Can I change the order of the sentence? Yes, I can. Water turns into ice without comma if you freeze water. I can change the order. Water turns into ice if you freeze it. If you freeze it, okay? Next, first conditional. We focused on the zero conditional, first conditional now. Structure, if plus simple or simple present, comma, simple future. If, simple present, comma, future, using will or will not, or on the verb or infinitive verb. To talk about possibilities in the present or in the future. This rule is talking about possibilities in the present or future. In the future or present. Examples. If it rains, it will stay at home, or I will stay at home. If it rains, comma, I will stay at home. Real? If it rains, comma, I will stay at home. I can change the order of the sentence. I will stay at home without comma. I will stay at home if it rains. Clear? Another example. If I wake up late, I will miss the bus. If I wake up late, I will miss the bus. Look at the sentence. Present, future. Present, future. Can I change the order? Yes, of course. I will miss the bus without comma. I will miss the bus if I wake up late. This is first conditional. Second conditional, if past simple, comma, present conditional. To be used where instead of was, we use where. Would, wouldn't, verb, bare form, infinitive form, فعل في المصدر. We use this kind of clause, second conditional, imaginary situations in the present or future. We use this kind of sentences in the present or future but imaginary situations. في مواقف خيالية في المضارع أو المستقبل. تذكر موقف خيالي. If I won $1 million, comma, I would buy a new car. If I won in the past, but we are talking about present or future. If I won $1 million, comma, I would buy a new car. Remember imaginary situations in the present or future. We didn't talk about present past. If we won $1 million, comma, we would buy a new car. Can I change the order of the sentence? Yes, of course. I would buy a new car if I won $1 million, without comma. I would buy a new car if I won $1 million. Another example, if I were, remember, I didn't say if I was, because it is an imaginary situation. If I were you, لو أنا مكانك, if I were you, comma, I would quit smoking. Stop smoking. If I were you, I would quit smoking. I would quit smoking if I were you, without comma, without using comma. Clear? Remember, we use were instead of was, because imaginary situation. This is about second conditional. Third conditional, if plus present perfect, comma, perfect conditional. We use would or wouldn't plus have plus past participle. Remember, imaginary situation in the past. With the second conditional, imaginary situation in the present or future. The third conditional, imaginary situations in the past. You got it? Example, if I had got a gold medal, this is in the past. If I had got a gold medal, comma, I would have been happy. Change the order. I would have been happy if I had got a gold medal. Clear? This is about conditionals. More examples. Read number one. Who can read number one? Of course, read number one. If you heat water at 100 degrees, it boils. If you heat water at 100 degrees, it boils. This is zero conditions. It's a fact. هذه حقيقة. If you heat water at 100 degrees, it boils. I can change the order. It boils. If you heat, or water boils, if you heat it at 100 degrees. Second sentence or second example. If I wake up late, I will miss the first period. If I wake up late, I will miss the first period. This is what? First conditional. I can change the order. I will miss the first period without comma. I will miss the first period if I wake up late. Next, conditional 2. If I were a bird, I would fly. If I were a bird, I would fly. This is the second conditional. If I were, not I was here. If I were a bird, I would fly. Change the order. I would fly without comma. I would fly if I were a bird. Clear? The third conditional now. If you had studied hard, comma. If you had studied hard, comma. هذا موقف في الماضي. شرط جملة شرطية في الماضي. You would have got high marks. If you had studied hard, you would have got high marks. هذه جملة شرطية في الماضي. لو ذاكرت باجتهاد لحصلت على درجات عالية. ولكنك لم تذاكر. هذا imaginary situation in the past. Change the order. You would have got high marks if you had studied hard without comma. This is about examples of conditionals. Look at these sentences in the third conditional and answer the questions. Remember, when I say third conditional, it means that imaginary situations in the past. Number one, if Esme had allowed more lifeboats, a lot more people would have survived. 2. If the ship hadn't traveled so fast, the iceberg wouldn't have caused so much damage. 3. I would have done the same if I'd been his place. Now we want to match. What tense do we use in the half of the sentence with if? With if, what sentence or tense we use in the half of the sentence of if? This is called if clause. هذه تسمى if clause. جملة if. ما هو زمن الفعل في منتصف الجملة. What is the tense of the verb in the middle of the sentence with F? We will see. We use the past perfect in the F clause. We use the past perfect in the F clause. Number 2. What form of the verb do we use in the other half of the sentence? What form of the verb? This is the second half. هذا الجزء الثاني من الجملة. What form of the verb? What form of the verb would have survived? What do we call it? It is, we use have plus the past participle, PP. We call it PP. We use would have plus past participle. Number 3, does the half of the sentence with F always come first? Does the half of the sentence of F sentence always come first? دائما تأتي في الجملة قاعدة F أو جملة F. No, it can come in the second part مثل ما ذكرنا باستطاعتنا تغيير ترتيب الجملة. Okay, we have finished 1, 2 and 3. 4 and 5 are for you. Try to think and try to answer 4 and 5. Grammar reference page 80 or 58. 58. More examples. Be with me, please. Complete the sentences with the correct form. Complete the sentences with the correct form. نريد أن نكمل الجملة بالشكل الصحيح للفعل. If the Roman Empire, remember we are with the third conditional, F clause. The verb is continue. Latin would probably have remained the most universal language. Use the correct verb. If the Roman Empire, what will we do? If the Roman Empire, the verb is continue, had continued. If the Roman Empire had continued, this is the verb, had continued. Latin would probably have remained the most universal language. Number 2, if the Titanic hadn't hit an iceberg, if the Titanic hadn't hit an iceberg, the verb is arrive in New York safely. It in New York safely. Okay, it would have arrived. It would have arrived. If the Titanic hadn't hit an iceberg, it would have arrived. Okay, number 3. Perhaps dinosaurs, the verb is survive. Perhaps dinosaurs, if an asteroid hadn't hit the earth. Perhaps dinosaurs, if an asteroid hadn't hit the earth. What's the verb? Survive. Would have survived. Perhaps dinosaurs would have survived. This is the verb in the PP form. Would have survived if an asteroid hadn't hit the earth. Number 4. Perhaps Sir Isaac Newton wouldn't have thought about gravity if an apple hadn't fallen on his head. The verb is not fall. It becomes in the third form, hadn't fallen. Number 5, if they, not find, it means in the negative. If they, oil in 1938, Saudi Arabia would never have become such a rich country. What's the verb? Not find. It becomes hadn't found. The third PP of the verb find, hadn't found. Number 6, if Christopher Columbus had said east, he not find out, we can say wouldn't, because here we have not, wouldn't have found out that American exists. Number 7, the word would have evolved in a totally different way. If somebody, the verb is invented, okay, had invented the computer 200 years ago. Number 8, if a plane really had crashed here, somebody, the verb here, find, what's the PP of find? Found, would have found. Okay, now we come to the end of the lesson. Remember that we focused on 0 conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. ركزنا على قاعدة F الشرطية في درجتها الأولى أو درجتها الحقيقية without using will، بدون استخدام will، وكذلك clause 1, clause 2 and clause 3. Please come back to your book and complete the exercise. Thank you for listening, watching and paying attention. See you in another lesson.